What's up, everybody? My name is Mr. Filthy, and we are here with the WWE breakdown of Monday Night Raw. We are doing the May 26, 2026 edition of Monday Night Raw. I'm not exactly sure where we're coming out of, actually. I kind of forgot. But we will jump right into it. To start things off, we got the arrivals. Paul Heyman and Oma Femi have they open the show. Basically, Oba says, "What do you think that Brock Lesnar has awakened within me?" More or less just saying, like, hey, I'm going to fuck Brock Lesnar up. And he made a huge mistake coming after me. Heyman, of course, looks very scared, as usual. Nothing new there. And then we jump into the next thing, which I believe is the IC title match between Penta and Javon Evans, which was amazing. There's just endless back and forth. And Javon hits him with just so many different unique variations of his moves. As always, he hits like several OG cutters. He hits a bunch of things. Penta hits him with, I think, no. There was just too much. But ultimately, Javon Evans goes for an OG cutter, I believe. Penta hits him with a backbreaker as a reversal. Then Javon reverses what was going to be the Mexican driver. I forgot. I think that's what it's called. And then as he reverses that, he pushes him out the way. He goes for another OG cutter, and then I believe Penta hits him with the Mexican exploder. Yes, that's what it was. And yeah, that's it. That's how the match ends. Javon Evans loses. And he kind of, Penta tries to go and, raise him up. But essentially, Javon has had enough. He's over it. He doesn't care. He shucks his hand away from Penta. And we have a seeming heel turn, or at least a hint at a heel turn, which I honestly think will do Javon Evans far better than being a face. I find him quite boring as a nice guy. Maybe he'll have better luck being an asshole. I'm kind of hoping so. But before we get too deep in this, if you guys do enjoy it, please leave a like, leave a comment. If you don't like something, even leave a comment for that. Let me know what you think, please. I'm very much in for criticism and for whatever you guys can tell me about how I can make this channel better. Continuing with that, we have Paul Heyman in the Vision segment. So basically, it's a backstage segment where Paul Heyman and Theory are talking. Theory is about to hand him the title and Paul's like, "What are you fucking doing, buddy?" He hands him the title thinking oh, well, now that Logan Paul's injured which, by the way, yay, Logan Paul injury. Fuck that guy. Hope he gets injured more often. Yeah, he just kind of thinks that it's over, and then Paul's like, Braun Breaker exists. You don't have to stop being champ. And Theory immediately is just like, yay, me. Alright, let's go back to being champ. And then that's the end of it. We have Joe Hendry about to do a segment. He's about to sing Fire Logan Paul again. And instead of that, Austin Theory immediately ambushes him, shoves his head between the turnbuckle post and the outside of the ring, and then hits him with essentially a concerto between the ring post, sensibly putting him out of action for who knows how long. Next, we have another backstage segment. Oh, no. This was the backstage segment. Angelo Dawkins and Seth Rollins are talking, yada yada, normal shit. So Rollins is like, we need each other, or you guys would be tag champions if it wasn't for the fact that you guys won't be my friend, and yada yada yada. Then we have Bayley and Lyra versus the Judgment Day. It was a lot of back and forth action. A lot of outside interference, and then, as usual, Judgment Day, I think, loses. If I'm not mistaken, they lost. But we got the next thing is Roman Reigns with a backstage segment talking to, I believe, Adam Pearce about. Oh, no. Someone was trying to hand him a gift, I believe, and he just was like, yeah, get that out of my way. I don't know why they did that. But then we have LA Knight cutting a promo talking about the bloodline, and then Jimmy Uso goes out to try to confront him and interrupts him, basically saying that Fatu is none of your business. Zero. And then he said, you better watch your mouth before the family business becomes your business or some shit like that. And LA Knight is like, well, if you guys want to jump people and make this my business, then prepared to go out of business, and you could tell Roman Reigns that, just make sure you write my name right, and that is L.A. Knight. Yeah. You know, his typical shtick, but he hits him with another mic drop moment, as L.A. Knight does. One of the best promo cutters in the WWE, in my opinion. The only one that even comes close would have to be CM Punk. What is next? We have that. Oh, shit, my reverse is stuck on something. We have a Becky Lynch interview. She basically talks shit about Sol Ruka and says how she's the best and yada yada yada, as she always does. Nothing really special, nothing important there. It's just, another Becky Lynch segment. Next we have, what was it? What in the hell? Oh, I also forgot that there was a backstage segment with Ethan Page and Rey Mysterio, and then Rusev interrupts and basically challenges Rey Mysterio, which sets up a later match. We also have a match between Seth Rollins and Montez Ford, which was very, very good. A lot of back and forth, a lot of just, good wrestling in general. And then after the match between them, which Seth Rollins ends up sneaking the victory on, D'Angelo Dawkins gets shoved out of the gorilla position, and we see Austin Theory come and attack him, hitting him with a chair, and then when he lays down on the concrete, he ends up hitting him with a concerto, which is, I guess, potentially puts him out of action for quite some time as well. I believe after that, if we have the Rusev versus Penta match. Right, let me make sure. Yes, we have a number one contenders match between Rey Mysterio and Rusev to earn a shot at Penta's Intercontinental Championship. Rusev ends up being defeated after several close calls, and then so now we have a new Intercontinental Champion number one contendership, and it is a Rey Mysterio, which should be a really great match. If the Javon Evans match was great, I can't imagine that this match would disappoint anyway. We have a contract signing between Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. They both meet in the ring. They're surrounded by security guards, and then this man, Roman, says he signed a blood oath. He's not gonna fucking do anything. And surprisingly enough, he actually doesn't. I kind of thought that this was gonna happen. But Adam Pearce calls off his people and says, essentially, hey, have it how you want, Tribal Chief. And then rolls out the ring, lets them handle it. And Fatu says, you brought our family to the next level, to the tippy top. But it's time for a change. And that change is Jacob Fatu. And he's essentially like, it's my turn, get out the fucking way. And eventually, after I beat you, you will acknowledge me. Roman, I won't be the one acknowledging you, and we'll see if that happens. I really, really, really want I want Fatu to win, but I have a sneaking suspicion they're gonna make this loser Roman win, which doesn't serve to do anything productive. And I don't feel like Fatu deserves another like downgrade in his position. I think he has proven he's fully capable of being champ right now. I think it would be great to put the title on to him, but I guess they're probably not going to do that, to be honest, if I'm being completely real. Oh, and then after, I forgot to mention this, after the attack on Montez Ford, or no, D'Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford and Seth Rollins are found backstage talking about, well, basically, I guess I gotta be tag partners with you, and you need to help me get this tag team championship, which is crazy, because I was not expecting Seth Rollins to go to the tag team title route and potentially become the new tag team champ with Montez Ford. That would be very, very interesting. Let me see. Anything else that I'm missing? Pretty much, I believe that is it. Do 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 do. Yep, that's pretty much it. So, with that being said, let me have a little breakdown of what I believe for tonight. I think that it was a very solid show. Solid potential eight show. Like, I don't think there was a single moment of true boringness. Everything felt like it flowed the way it should. And if they could have shows like this every single night, I don't think there could be something that any fan realistically could complain about without sounding like a jackass. We had really good matches. We had really, really good promos. The only thing that I actually did notice was all throughout the Javon Evans and Penta match, there were so many botches. I don't know if they felt rushed or if like somebody was off or what was going on, but I remember when I believe Penta or Javon were going to do like basically like more or less a backflip onto the side apron with the opponent, and I believe both of them ended up landing awkwardly and looked like both of them somewhat got hurt, as well as the fact that when Javon went for a suicide dive onto Penta, he ended up throwing him into the actual announce desk. Like, I don't think it was planned to do that at all. I think he was supposed to take it, but it literally looked like he shoved him into that, which I'm like, is bro trying to kill Mans? Is he okay? Like, that did not look good at all. And then we had a few botches with the ladies match. I can't quite pinpoint exactly what it was. I can't remember. So it wasn't really, like, too crucial for them. But the Javon Evans and the Penta match, it was a lot of very noticeable mistakes. And I guess that happens more often than not with high-risk maneuver, but I don't know. I feel like when you look at people like Rey Mysterio, you very rarely see him fucking up anything. I'm just like, y'all gotta lock in. Lock in a little bit. Get shit right. Slow down if you need to. But I'm also not a wrestler. I'm not gonna pretend like I have some like overarching insight into any of this shit. I just hope that they're all good and that nobody gets injured because of things like that. But if I had to say what I think about the rest of the night, damn near perfect. Like, everything feels like it's building into something else. Everything makes sense. Pretty solid Monday Night Raw. But I believe that'll be it for me. I don't really have anything interesting to share this week. Anything new? No. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like and a subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.